Hello, we are here. I'm Daniel Bloodworth, joined by Michael Huber.
Yo, yo, yo.
Joined by Elyse Willems.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? Oh my gosh.
Wrap up. Life is Strange, Double Exposure. We're on the last chapter, chapter 5. It has been a wild ride. It's gone places we have not expected. And this goes even further into places we did not expect to go. We're going to get talking about the future. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. So if you have not been up to date, get in there, play chapter 5, watch our spoiler notes for chapters 1 through 4, because now we're really getting into the crazy implications of everything that's about to happen.
Or maybe just ride the lightning.
Ride it.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Just dive right in.
Dive right in chapter 5.
Dive right in.
Start at the end of the book.
So if you're not ready, get out. Get out right now. Get out right now, because here's the spoilers. They're coming.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode, activated.
Here we are. Chapter 5.
Yeah.
The storm is here.
Decoherence blood. That's the name of chapter 5. Decoherence.
That's,
What a word. Because it's just, like most of this chapter is very Silent Hill. What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Just the fact that we have another storm.
yeah.
That we're back to Arcadia Bay in a way, and now it's not our fault, it seems. It has more to do with Safi than it has to do with us.
Well, yeah, and also we start this chapter and we have no idea which timeline. We don't know if we're in the living world.
Yeah.
We don't know if we're in the dead world. It just says unsure. At the top of the
Unsure,
screen.
yeah.
Unsure,
Question marks, like.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what happened?
Because I'm
well,
thinking,
the very first, before we even get to that, they're still on the Overlook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The storm is raging.
I was also thinking of Rachel Amber for a second
Yeah.
when she makes that forest fire from screaming. Remember that? And before the storm, she screams and a fire comes, and I'm just like, dude, what is the deal with these natural disasters happening in these characters' moments of trauma? What is the connection?
Right. So Safi gives Max the gun because she wants her to end this.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be dealing with this power. She doesn't want to be dealing with the situation anymore.
Pulls a camera out of nowhere.
Yeah.
just
It's
And Max tosses it.
It's Point Break. We're pointing the gun at Brody. Do we take the shot? Oh no. Yeah.
I'm an FBI agent.
Yep.
And then we walk into the storm, and this is where things really start, because everything gets weird. We got the 2 moons.
Double moon. I wrote down double
Tatooine.
moon. Yeah.
And
Because we take Safi's hand and we walk into the tornado together.
yeah.
Epic. I loved that. It was like, dude, Max is not doing this again. Max refuses. I love
Yeah.
it.
But you're literally
Not losing anyone else.
in the eye of the storm.
It was a powerful
You're in
moment.
that calm, freaky environment.
As someone who regrettably sacrificed Chloe, I was like, we're not doing this again. We are
not going
not.
back.
Yeah, we are not.
Wandering around. Diamond is out there.
On the quad.
Yeah.
Diamond.
You go through a door, and then you are back out on the observatory roof.
Yeah, we follow her into the fine arts building.
Yeah.
It doesn't take us into the fine arts building.
Yeah.
We're outside.
And she's confused too, because she's like, dude, where are we? What is going on?
Yeah.
Right.
But Moses is there with his telescope set up.
Yeah, Moses is there with a bunch of telescopes.
And
Wait.
this is bad Moses because he's smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Smoking
Wait,
cigarettes.
wait a sec. Did we have to take a picture of Diamond?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how you have to take pictures to separate
later
people?
on. No, we didn't. Moses was the first one of those.
Remember that later. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I see what
Interesting.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I see what you're talking
Interesting.
about.
But
Okay.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
checked the phone when I got on that observatory.
Yeah.
There's a text message from the cat.
Oh yeah,
More of your paid
Oh,
content there.
Yes. I also had a text message from my cat. Yes.
Do you don't love me, Max? You forgot me?
But
Whatever.
Elyse, there's also text from Blackwell.
There are, and I did.
And Chloe as well.
Yeah, Chloe too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There are the Blackwell texts, and then
I
there's
don't
There's
think I got
phone.
Chloe.
there's somebody
I got
from
Chloe.
Blackwell that texts us that was like a blast from the past. The guy, I don't remember his name. He's like our Warren.
Warren.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Warren was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we're getting all these weird.
Yeah. Then
But yeah, Moses is out there smoking cigarettes, and he asks us. He poses that question to us again. What are we gonna do when if the world was gonna end in 24 hours? What
Yeah.
would we do?
yeah, talking about an asteroid coming.
I
down.
Yeah.
always say zombie. I love zombies, so I pick zombies. Or I said we'd watch a zombie movie.
I mirrored what I did in episode
Yeah,
one.
I gave the same answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
take a picture.
Because it definitely
Yeah.
felt
He
like that.
it like he couldn't snap out of it, so he asked me again, and then I had to pick
Oh, you did
take a photo.
Take a
So yeah.
Yeah.
which is telling us you need to take a photo.
Yeah.
Max, and we do take a photo of him, and use the double exposure on him.
Some hardcore Alan Wake vibes here.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
yeah.
th-
Like separating
about
the
that.
souls.
we'll talk
yeah.
about that more because once
Yeah.
that motel room comes in, I was like, am I playing Control? What's happening here? Where am I?
Yeah, essentially like pulling like Safi's essence out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool. I
For
love
the
the
Dark Crystals fans out there.
I love that mechanic. I loved how it tied into just photography.
Yeah, it was really
You know,
nice to like.
I thought it was really
because I had
cool.
done a couple of double exposures when you get to take pictures with
Oh, yeah,
people.
Yeah, I just did a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I was like, oh, it's the namesake of the game. Like, let's mess around
Yeah.
with a few.
But
Yeah.
it was really interesting for them to make that mechanic. And when we were doing it here, I was actually like trying to get them to like line up in
Yeah,
the same
same,
pose
same.
as
It
close
was
as
fun.
possible. Yeah.
It was also giving me Insidious vibes. Spoilers for the end of the movie, Insidious.
Insidious.
But you take a picture of, like the dad, and then you see the like demon. sorry.
Yo, bring that red faced demon back.
We see a butterfly.
You see the blue butterfly.
Butterfly.
And then all of a sudden you're back in the freaking bathroom at
Yeah.
Blackwell.
Yeah, we keep opening doors thinking they're going to take us
Yeah.
somewhere, and they take us somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
Cool way to do Blackwell and Arcadia Bay, the bathroom. I
Yeah.
mean, that bathroom is friggin'
And-
iconic bathroom. Like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you kidding me?
And it's the catalyst for the entire first game takes place
Yeah.
in there where I forget that little shit's name, but
Nathan
Nathan
Prescott.
Prescott pulls a gun on Chloe.
yeah. And Max is Nathan in the scene. That must have been fun for Hannah Tell. I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
that
Oh,
was
I bet, yeah.
awesome.
And Safi and Max are hella arguing in this scene.
Yeah.
They're thrashing.
Yep.
I like this. And
I
then-
also really liked how forcefully freaking like
You check the stalls.
how Jason Voorhees-esque she kicks open those
we're
stall
drop
doors.
kicking open stall
Yeah.
doors. Yeah,
Holy crap.
we're drop kicking open these doors.
Cool scene. Just
Yeah.
enough to not be pandering. I really appreciated it. I was like, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And just this whole odyssey that we're about to get into of, you're never gonna forget that, Max. I mean, that's you went through some insanely dark, twisted, traumatic stuff. Like that's always gonna be a part of her
And
life.
and the fact that like in the timeline, it didn't happen. So she
Yeah.
can't like reach out and be like, I was held captive by this guy. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but we kick open the stall door and find it leads to the bowling alley,
yeah.
and it's like littered with all these like bowling ball man.
Yeah,
Toys
Creepy.
everywhere.
the Nebula or whatever his name is. Yeah,
Cool
Yeah.
imagery. I love that imagery.
piles of them all over the place.
Very survival horror coded. I was like, this is awesome.
Also, the Maya Okada cherry blossom tree
Mm-hmm.
is growing in the center where the mobile was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Lucas is standing there. I thought that
Lucas
was
is
pretty
there.
poetic.
Yeah.
But is that before that though? Do we come to the
We
dark
have the door.
room?
Yeah, we have the
Well, yeah,
door.
so you can see it out the
Yeah.
window because you're back upstairs. You're looking out the window, and you see the cherry tree, and you see Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're trying to find a way down, and the
Yeah.
staircase is still blocked. So that's where you see all the piles of dolls.
Yeah. And then you go in the other
And
reality.
you come back, and now you are in the bunker.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all the red binders where Lucas
I was
took
like-
photos of his victims.
That was crazy because I was like, dude, there were that many fucking binders, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Holy
Dude,
moly.
and this
Holy
is
moly.
little bit of a derailing here, but I don't know if you've watched Woman of the Hour, the Anna Kendrick
Yeah.
movie, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about the dating game killer, and eventually when they caught him, they found a storage locker in Seattle that had a box in it that was just filled with photos of his victims, and that was all I could think of
Totally.
when I thought of Mr. Jefferson. Now I was like, oh my gosh,
that parallel.
taking photos of your victims and
So disturbing.
creepy.
And then the chair, like Max having to sit in the chair again, like
Yeah.
face her demons.
Yeah, get strapped in and then like fight your way out. Yeah.
That's what I want to say. I said last episode, I was like, yeah, the last 2 or so episodes were clunky. I thought the transitions of this, just with like the loadings and stuff, I thought just that there were some technical things here that just kind of took me out of it a little bit here and there. I don't know. I just thought the cuts and the loadings and things were just a little rough.
I did feel a bit.
They
like,
weren't as clean and crisp
Well,
as they could and should have been for this grand finale.
I think I more so felt like we were moving at an alarming pace. I was like, oh, this person's here now, and this person's here now, and this person's here now. It was like, it was just
hopping scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it took a big swing though, so I appreciate and respect it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a like place to sit and reflect in the bowling alley. But
I got that one for sure. I got that one.
if you look closely, Loretta's there, and obviously she's freaking out.
I missed her, I think.
Yeah, she was like up on the lanes, kind of sitting in like, so if you're like looking towards the lanes, like the cherry tree and Lucas are there, and then like Loretta is kind of like back behind them.
Did you talk to her? Could you?
Yeah, I talked to her, and I promised to explain everything later.
Did you?
I didn't find her.
So you didn't have to use double exposure on her, but she also wasn't in a trance or anything like everyone else.
Right. Yeah, she was just kind of there,
Her normal
freaked
source,
out.
but disturbed.
Yeah. I don't remember whether or not I had to take a photo of her, but
Oh, it's key information. Damn it.
But you do on Lucas.
yeah, you definitely
To
do on
get
Lucas.
him out of his daze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And Reggie's there,
Reggie's also there,
Yeah.
and Vin shows up.
Yeah.
and Reggie's talking about remembering both realities. And then I told Vin to check on Reggie.
Same.
I did too, and like Vin shows up, and then we kind of he explicitly says like he was in love with Safi, but she didn't return that or care.
Yeah. So then he was pissed, and that's why
Yeah.
he threw the thing in the car.
Yeah.
So that was all like clearly. Yeah, that made everything a little more
Yeah.
clear. That conversation with Vin.
And then we leave the alley and go to the snapping turtle, and Amanda's there, but then
Yeah.
Gwen is outside, so we have to figure out how to like.
Get Gwen.
to Gwen
Get to
outside.
Gwen, and then that's a little more puzzling.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You had to go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we shift to go outside, but then that leads us into a motel room,
Yes.
and then we get into the gauntlet of motel rooms.
Yes.
Yes, this was-
straight
Yes.
out of Remedy.
This is me. I'm like I'm in control. I forget what the name of the motel is in control. but
Right. Yeah. Well, and then like every time you go through the door, it changes a little bit.
But yeah, a little bit, but not enough to be like like we're like, oh yeah, this was the hotel in Chicago, or this was.
Yeah, when she's calling out different places, I'm like, okay, well, it's like
it's all blending together.
there's a different
Yeah.
photo, and there's a different lampshade, and there's
Yeah.
a different book.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're Max and you're on the road and
Yeah.
everything starts to look the same, and one motel becomes the other, and you're not putting down roots, and
Totally.
But then what's crazy?
I actually thought of Life is Strange 2 in this moment because of
yeah,
the road,
I did too.
The
I
road
thought we
trip
were like,
vibe.
are we getting into that at all?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
yeah.
thought the road trip vibe,
That,
and even
that hotel room is very vivid.
Yeah.
The Life is Strange 2 one.
yeah. So definitely
Um,
thought of that.
But then you get to the third room, and everything is. Did you notice this? So like things were like
The cardboard
standees.
cutouts. It was alarming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you start getting more and more tired. You're like, oh, I'm so
Yeah.
tired.
And then the fourth one, I freaking love this.
Yeah.
This black and white.
That was sick.
Everything on the walls is just flat and just
Yeah.
painted
Oh,
on.
yeah, because before that, you lie down. You like lie down on the
You
bed.
lie down. No, you. I could only lie down on the
black and white
one.
Oh, really?
Did you
Yeah,
lie
yeah,
down
yeah.
before that?
I don't know. I had gauntlet of motels, getting more and more tired. Lie down, wake up, black and white. Everything is flat. Push on door. These are my notes.
Yeah,
These are my
It is
intricate
black and white when
notes.
you lie down, but then when you wake up too, it's still black and white
Yeah.
until you get out of there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that whole room is just black and white.
Yeah, yeah,
when you-
yeah.
But the bed is the only thing in that room that is 3D. Like
Yeah.
everything else
Yeah.
is just painted on the walls. And it plays out as like one of the reflection moments. So
Yeah.
like I
Yes.
just let that whole song
Same.
play
Yeah.
through. I let
Such a
the
good one.
like light come through the windows and the ceiling fan and like everything. I just sat in that for a while.
Same.
And then you get up and
Push out of
Push
there.
out of there.
try to push your way out.
Now you're back in the snapping turtle.
Yes.
So you can try to go talk to
Go
Gwen.
get Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically just the stuff that was clogging up outside the door is just not there now. So you can
Yep.
just go out there and talk to her and get that photo.
Extract her photo
Yeah.
essence.
And this somehow sort of seems to like put Safi back together, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like
Parts of her were trapped in
exactly.
Yeah,
the
she
other
had
people.
Horcruxes that now you've
It's
reassembled.
like he had like splintered and spiderwebbed out. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and again going back to talking about like perception on that many people. It's
Yeah.
Like maybe
Sure.
that's
It
what
does all make sense
what
now.
broke her in a way. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're in this void still though, kind of. But then Max is like, well, Safi seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
But we're still in this weird liminal
Yeah.
space. So
Yeah.
like what's going on here?
Yeah, you end up with her on the bench in the quad.
Yeah. And then you're trying to like convince Safi, like, let's do it different. Let's do things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Timelines start to combine.
Crazy.
Yeah, because like you kind of come to this thing of like the last piece of Safi is in Max.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And so she has to take the photo of you.
Yeah, and Safi's like pressuring her. Safi says to her, "You have an instant undo button on life, the rewind. Like, why don't
Doesn't
you
work
know,
like that.
Doesn't work like that." And then you know, yeah,
Oh, before that, there's a line I really love. It's like, These powers involve a lot of ibuprofen.
yeah, because every time it's always
Nosebleeds and migraines.
Yeah.
yeah. It's so true though.
Intrigued
yeah.
on your decision for this one.
Yeah. I mean, I did say that she had asked about Arcadia Bay,
Yeah.
and I had said I shouldn't have run away.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared anymore. And then that's when she takes the photo, and you get back out to the Overlook. And Yasmin's still
Just still bleeding.
there
Yeah.
with her bleeding shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you continue to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this is where Safi says to her, "You have an instant undo button on life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
use it." And yeah, it's just Safi here becomes a very like morally gray character.
Definitely.
Yeah.
She's clearly internally conflicted and very wounded and struggling with everything.
She goes full Magneto here. She's like, we're gods.
Yeah.
We're gods.
Yeah, trying to like convince her that she
Full
she
Magneto
has a
heel
place
turn.
here, trying to convince her to
Yeah,
stay.
and I'm not sure if this is where you learned at some point during these kind of confrontations with Yasmin that because Safi always believed that the reason her father was absent was by his doing.
Yeah.
But then you kind of learn like, oh no, Yasmin like pushed him out of her life and then told Safi a different story.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Safi's like,
Yeah.
her whole worldview is shattered.
Been
and-
lied to
Yeah.
by her mom time and time again. Like lied to by professors and everything.
Yeah.
Her friend got screwed over and killed herself. Just like one crazy thing after another.
Do you know what like big energy Safi was giving me? And I don't know if both of you will remember this, but Christopher Mintz-Platz's character from Kick-Ass, where he's like the red, like he's in the red costume and he's like
Sounds so
got
familiar.
a conflicted relationship with his dad because he wants to impress his dad, but like, and then he's like kind of friends with Kick-Ass, but then he's I don't know. There was just like something about his character's name is like Red Streak or something. But I'm like I don't know. I'm getting major like
Red
vibes
Streak
of this from
vibes.
Safi where.
I was definitely kind of
I was just thinking of
freaked
Magneto.
out by what she was saying.
Yeah, she's straddling this weird
Yeah.
villain line.
I was like, she's gonna go start the Brotherhood of Mutants right now.
yeah.
But that's the thing though. It's just like I'm gonna go find other people like us.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's
Shawn and
sort
Daniel
of the
Diaz,
thing.
bro, let's go.
since two.
Wolf Bros?
Oh yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
like Safi's thinking like, well, if there's the two of us, there must be more people.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm putting together a team.
I'm putting together a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she asks, "Are you in this? Are we in this together?"
Yeah.
And what did you say? Were you in or out?
I don't give up on anyone, so I was in.
Okay.
I told Safi I will stand with her when she comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we
What'd
all
you say?
agreed.
You did?
We all
Yeah.
agreed to stay with her.
But it
it's
still
interesting
felt
because it was like
murky.
the disagree
Yeah.
was the first choice, right?
I know, it still
Yeah.
felt murky
I
here.
still felt like I couldn't quite trust Safi.
Same.
Yeah.
I wish there was
Yeah.
like...
Well, she's gonna go with this. Yeah.
You want to know what I was hoping? I was hoping for a little... So I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. You know what I was hoping for? A third choice. I wanted 3 choices here. I thought that would have been
Oh.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
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 I was like, I need more choices. Like it's there's more to this. Don't make me just pick one or the other. Like I want to say I have her back, but also I don't like where she is heading and what she is thinking
So,
about.
We got the black and white. You wanted the gray. too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was still a little murky with that one.
It was also really funny to me because it's like this whole thing is going down, and then Safi, despite my best efforts, decides that she's gone.
Yeah.
She's gonna go and she's gonna figure things out on her own for a
Put
while.
together a team.
We'll put together a team.
But you Max just lingers and watches her walk away. While
Yasmin's
Yasmin's still bleeding out.
Still bleeding here.
Hey, Yasmin did some bad shit. She needs to take a minute and think about
Yeah.
what she did.
Feel that pain,
Yeah.
Yasmin. Feel that pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Safi's gone.
And then you cut
Wait,
forward,
"Oh," in the distance.
cut forward back to the quad.
Oh yeah, we had a few days later title card.
Yeah.
Here.
And now this is where, again, paid DLC Cap Quest.
Oh, okay. So I did not experience this.
Yeah,
This is
you're holding the cat in the container.
Ridiculous.
Damn, you got like a travel.
Little
Yeah.
travel
Oh.
container. You get a little interaction with Loretta.
Loretta
Wow.
comes to pick it up.
It's Loretta's cat.
No, but she knows the person
Oh, okay.
because she did
Yeah.
the podcast about it.
Wow. Okay. Now that cat's mine.
Awesome.
So, and yeah, you just have a little thing where you let it out and pet it one last time before handing it over to Loretta.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Loretta's like, its name's not Miso. And
Like,
Max
shut up.
Max is like, let me just live this
Yeah.
life for a second or something like
Yeah.
that.
For me, it was like the a few days later title card comes up and then I'm back in the quad and then I'm like, I need to check my crosstalk. I need to check my text messages. Like, what's everybody saying? What's everybody
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah, the
Ooh.
text from your parents.
Text from the parents, but also how everyone is like, why does it feel like there's 2 brains in my brain right
Yeah,
now?
it's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Seeing everybody.
Everyone
Yeah.
dealing with that.
Yeah.
Both realities are now in their head.
Maybe some of
Yeah.
us got a text from Chloe after not hearing from her from 4 episodes.
What'd you say?
She just sent us kind of like a blanket. Hey Max, I heard about the storm. I hope you're.
That's actually really intriguing
I
because
hope
she
you're
knows
doing
what the
okay.
storm would be.
because she knows what the storm means.
Holy shit.
I heard about the storm. I hope you're doing okay. Actually, just got
Dude,
goosebumps now as
that's-
we're talking about.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah. So and I did like just seeing the fallout and everybody's
Yeah.
posts and stuff.
It's cool. They really misdirected me because early on I was like, there's gotta be other realities. They're gonna have some cool twist where
There clearly are with
Yeah.
the Polaroids.
yeah. So I was like, there's gotta be some cool crazy twist of honoring both Max choices from the first game. And it's like they did merge the realities, but not quite like I was expecting it to play out, which I thought was really cool.
And I'm so glad you mentioned the difference in the Polaroids blood because I was picking them up, but I really wasn't like looking at them that intently. It's my own fault. So I'm glad that you said,
Yeah.
especially with you mentioned the Lucas's office was all messed up. So
Yeah.
there was a third. That's
Third
cool.
timeline.
Yeah.
Crazy. How many timelines, bud?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Where's
mean,
Alderman?
and
Alderman
she-
is going to come back as some timeline
Okay.
god. Alderman is a timeline god. He is going to be in all realities.
He's our.
Well, that was
he's
another
our,
misdirection because-
he's Kang the.
Because remember, after that happened, Max was like, we forgot to bring that up. When Max had that part of the dilemma of grabbing the other Max out of the water was like she thought that like it would create the singularity.
Yeah.
Because of what happened with Alderman.
Yeah.
And that like that actually wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is the deal with Alderman?
I did really feel like that was a thing that didn't land quite right for me with the whole like Alderman never existed, because I really thought he was going to be a running character through this game, a current in it. And so I felt like there needed to be some hint or resolution here at the end to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little let down.
Because
like, this dude just got snapped, is what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, somehow.
Like, it's cool on paper, but the execution, I was a little disappointed with, like, he's like.
And I did like him being like I liked the idea of this guy hunting them.
Yeah.
As they were trying, it makes it a little bit more.
Next game, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, Alderman is going to be a hunter.
He comes back from the future. He's got a robot eye. He's got he's half cyborg. And he's here for justice.
More Alderman. Dude had a presence.
He was like menacing.
Yeah.
Chewed that scenery.
And then there's Lucas, who's sitting at the statue.
Oh my gosh, this Lucas conversation.
Lucas.
All the benefit of the doubt you ever tried to give this guy just went
What a
right down the
loser.
drain with
He's
this scene.
working on
I'm glad I didn't give him any. I didn't give him an inch. Yeah.
He's working on his apology.
Yeah, you look over his apology and it's like the worst like corporate bullcrap.
Yeah, you read it in there.
Just unconvincing.
It's a non-apology. He has a line in there about his audience extending him a gracious hand of empathy.
Gosh.
But,
Lucas.
it sounds like he's going to focus on his son. Because it seems
You do tell him that like, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Like,
and because like the school's just basically like against him.
yeah, he says that Caledon is poisoned against me.
Come on, bro.
Who's the victim now?
Yeah,
Classic commentary.
What? You're deluded.
That's great commentary. Just the victim complex that is so popular
they
nowadays.
wrote that character bang on.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
yeah.
For
Come
sure.
on, dude.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Like everything that's happened is because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Like
He
get
set
over yourself.
all these
Yeah.
events in motion.
Yeah.
I will say, but the only thing I will say was that Safi bringing the kid into it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's,
That was very
it too much,
questionable.
it was too
leave,
much.
leave the kids alone.
And then ring ring, we get a phone call. Yasmin.
Yeah, she's been asked to step down.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still recovering and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Also, just the campus itself is freaking wild.
Yeah.
Just like all the storm damage everywhere,
Yeah.
like roof over here, the statue's head split
in half.
right down the middle.
Yeah, which you could see in like one of the dream sequences.
Yeah, it was in there
kinda.
before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Maya Okada cherry tree is there in full bloom,
Yeah.
like it was in the bowling alley.
Big presence for
Makes
never
no
being
sense at
there.
all.
Deadly
right?
premonition reference.
Yeah. And then lampposts are bent and just everything is just complete mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max. Well, Yasmin's also in PT for her arm. So
Yep.
good for her. Max says a line, before going to the snapping turtle. Here goes nothing.
Yeah.
Max she's not running away. She's
Yeah.
confronting.
I'm ready to face it.
Yeah.
Loved this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get to the snapping turtle.
Yeah, the
Everyone's waiting
snapping
for
turtle.
you.
After Max's internal dialogue mentions I should go to the snapping turtle like 40 times
Yeah.
around the quad.
Yeah.
And gang's all there.
Oh,
Yep.
I think I didn't write down my other Loretta interaction, but that was interesting too.
What happened?
My Loretta was still on the case. Nothing really changed with her. She's just like wanted more information about everything.
I think it has to do a lot with whether you find her in the bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was very much like, like I'm gonna not worry about the podcast right now and take some time off.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
And gonna change how I
Approach
go about
stories
things in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was still gung ho Loretta. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was open with her like the whole time too. Like when the Reggie
Yeah.
thing happened, I had, told
Yeah.
her about that.
I told her some things.
And,
We were pretty chill.
and then I had, said that I would explain things to her as
Yeah.
well.
I'm pretty sure Lucas told me to fuck off, actually.
Oh yeah?
He actually said the F word because he hated me so hard. Yes.
Because you confronted him in the
all the time.
early part too.
Oh,
right?
we
Yeah.
hated each other's guts.
Yeah.
He told me he's like, fuck off, Max. Yep. Yep.
Well, you know what, Lucas, take your own advice.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah. I remember that. I was like, whoa.
yeah, that's big words coming from him.
Yeah.
When we go into the turtle, we talk to everybody because everybody's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diamond.
Oh, this one made
She had
me-
asked this question, and I'm like, well, anything could happen. And she's like, is that your pep talk?
Yeah. I
She was
shouldn't have-
really not happy with me.
I know. Same.
Because when Lucas
And I
was-
realized
or
after.
she's still thinking about when Moses and her were playing magic, and then we took him away to fix the projector.
Yeah. And I should have known. It's like, that's not, it was such an unhelpful thing to say of like, oh, everything will be fine. You can do it. It's like, I should have been like, yo, you've done it before was the other
Yeah.
option. Like, you've beat it before. You're good. So I should have said,
Yeah.
mess that one up a little bit. This one with Amanda actually made me feel like a skis.
Oh.
This completely, I wasn't even thinking
What'd
about
you do?
this. So
I'm trying to remember what happened with
so
Amanda.
I come clean to Amanda with everything. Amanda, because the realities merged, I guess.
Yeah.
Dead World Amanda realizes that we basically split up, or like we never really got going. And then after that, I kissed Living World Amanda. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yo, that's kind of gross. Like,
Oh.
I broke up with, or I didn't, like, we stopped, not even dating, but like I rejected you, and then you hooked up with another version of me.
Wow.
And I was like, that is kind of skeezy. I'd never thought of it that way. I was like, whoops. So she wasn't mad or anything, but she was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. And then Max is like, yeah, sorry. Like, yeah.
Moses asked if I was done hiding from the blue-haired girl, but I think I think he meant it in more of the bigger picture sense, not Chloe specifically. And that's when Max was like, I think it's time I explained a few things and like told them about Arcadia Bay and what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
everything.
think I don't remember. I think it was Moses that asked me this, but rather than asking about Chloe, he was asking if I would ever go back to Arcadia Bay,
Yeah.
and she said that she would.
Yeah, same. I'd be like,
Yeah.
one day.
yeah. But this time, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I also got to tell Gwen about it being Safi in the video footage. She'd asked
Yeah.
directly about that.
I can't remember.
Yep.
Because again, you burned it.
Yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had that interaction.
So Gwen was like, "That was Safi, what? Right? So,
Yeah.
that's what that was.
I thought,
no, Gwen.
And she's gonna fight for her job
I don't.
back.
yeah.
Oh no! I don't think Gwen was even. Yeah, no, Gwen wasn't in my snapping turtle.
Oh wow.
Gwen, I had a text message from, I believe, that she and her wife were gonna get a Winnebago and go
Crazy.
travel the country.
Sick.
And they were debating over the name of what they would call the Winnebago, and I forget what the other option was, but Gwenebago
Gwenebago
was one of the options, and she was asking me which one I thought they should call it, and I said, of course, Gwenebago.
Gwennebago was amazing.
So yeah, so I had no
10 out
Gwen
of 10.
in the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She's fully like, now she knows about Safi, and she
Yeah.
had asked about that, and she said she's gonna fight to get her job back.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Vin and Reggie were there, and they
Yeah,
were an
Vin-
item.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
they were there together.
This one
but
was
it
also-
very strange to read what was going on with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like they're sort of a couple, but it didn't seem like Vin was totally into it. It
Oh.
was weird.
For me, Vin was into it, and then he was just like he was like so jolly in this scene all of a sudden. Like,
Did you take everyone's pictures?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did go around and get everyone's photos.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought the Vin and Reggie subplot,
It goes back to
it
when,
didn't feel right.
It goes back
it
to
didn't feel natural.
It goes back to Smasher Pass.
Okay.
When Max was like, students are off limits,
Yeah.
but it's like, for Vin, students have already not been off
But I never
limits.
played
Yeah.
Smash and Pass, so maybe
Yeah.
mine was just not really.
Yeah, so there was a whole thing. It was in the text messages or in a document somewhere that we're talking about, like Reggie staying at Vin's and all of this stuff.
Yeah, I think
it was really like it was a
subtle.
little on a little creepy, another creepy Vin moment kind of thing.
And I think knowing, replaying the game, I usually replay them every couple years, like replaying it with the knowledge, I might pick up on that subtext a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I think I just missed it. So it just kind of felt like, oh, they're
Right.
Just to get I wasn't fully aware of how like close they were, I guess, until they just kind of were.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the game, like, they're not, maybe some crosstalk messages or something like that. Yeah.
So I would like to, when I go back, I'll have that in my mind of like, what, like, I'll be looking for a little more of that.
Yeah.
Because you do have to think of so many different things when you're going through it for the first time. It's like there's so many plot lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then credits roll for a good while.
This time I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Is important. I think.
Yeah, no, I do think it's important.
Because
she's committed to
she's been running.
Caledon.
She's been on the run since Arcadia Bay.
Planting some roots, Max.
We could pick up and be going motel and motel now, but no.
Yeah, and I like too that she's like, one day I will go back home.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think credits roll.
Yeah, it's funny in Life is Strange too if you sacrifice or not Chloe. Spoiler for Life is Strange too.
Yeah.
There's that Arcadia Bay moment.
Yeah.
And if you sacrifice the city or whatever, the city, it's just like a big crater, right?
Yeah,
So
it's just all dark.
So it's like,
yeah.
what does Arcadia Bay look like these days?
Mm-hmm.
So
The credits roll.
yeah.
Credits roll, and we get a post scene, which for whatever dumb reason I was not expecting.
Oh, 100%. I was like, what's the post
I
credits?
was not expecting a
100%.
thing to pop up.
I was
I
ready.
was like, I gotta see if there's something here.
Yeah.
So.
And Diamond is
Diamond.
blotting a nosebleed.
Diamond, dude.
What a reveal.
Diamond.
Did you have any suspicion
No.
at all for
and
her?
that's why I was asking you when this episode started, did you need to take a photo of her? Why was she fine in this alt timeline? Everyone else was all like messed up,
Sure.
and she
What are her
wasn't.
powers? What are her powers?
I don't know. And that's interesting that Safi recruits her and goes to her because Safi would have known whose head she was in. And it's like, why wasn't I in Diamonds maybe? Like there's more
Yeah, Safi.
there.
And Safi appears like a mega villain.
Yeah.
Trying to recruit somebody.
Brotherhood of
into
Mutants,
her.
let's go.
And she says, you can run or you can follow me and get some answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels very much like the trope or a little bit in a movie or a comic where like there's the fallen, fell from grace kind of, and then the villain preys upon their feelings to try to. But Diamond's not fallen from grace, and Safi is not evil in the. So it's an interesting like.
It really makes you
Yeah.
think, like, where is this going to go? Are we going to go full Stranger Things and there's going to be, like, shadow organizations? Like, I feel like people are aware of powers. There has to be some organization out there that is
like
aware.
the guys that were trailing the brothers.
Yeah, there's...
Like, they know something is not right. Yeah.
There's something.
I don't think...
And if you put together now, too, Max, storms and stuff, you follow
Yeah.
Max, it's like, wow, she's at both of these locations.
Well,
like,
no, nobody would know about the first storm.
You're right.
Unless the Chloe timeline.
You're right. You're right.
But,
you're right.
The...
Are those, like, what other realities are merged? Like, the timeline?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a weird fair point.
I know.
And where is Safi going to get these answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's even her lead?
Right. She'll probably just look for people with nosebleeds. I don't know. But I would say, though, Huber, I think there might be a little bit more to the double exposure photo thing than...
With Diamond?
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is I don't think that Diamond, not having to do that with Diamond means that that's a power or something. Because I think that the people that you had to take photos of, because you didn't have to take photos of everybody.
God.
Right?
Okay,
I think there are
thought
people
you
that,
did.
like, there was specific
I thought you did.
connection with Safi, right?
Okay, that's a good point. That makes sense,
it's like
too.
there
That makes
was
sense.
very
Yeah, Safi and Diamond didn't really cross paths all that often.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
but like Gwen was a big thing and Lucas was a big thing.
Vin was a
you
big
know,
thing.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
really disappointed with the Moses because of Safi's whole thing of like, I will never mess with Moses.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh,
messed
the
with
fact that
Moses?
she was.
Yeah.
But to me, I kind of took that like
She was out of control.
that whole
not-
thing where she
she
was
couldn't
fully out of
control it.
control.
Yeah.
Like everybody was in
Yeah.
pain. It was like it was definitely like a Professor X
Yeah.
kind of moment.
Totally
Yeah.
losing control.
And then we get we get that end title card.
Yeah, love an end title card. 10 out of 10.
Max Caulfield will return.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
Captain
gosh.
America over here. Captain
full
America will return.
So
Because with the post credits, like you're thinking like, okay, I guess Safi's gonna be the next thing or whatever. But then
Or
they're like,
Diamond. I was like,
to
are we going to
double-
get Diamond DLC?
to
That
double
was
hit
what
with
I
Max at the end. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
setting up multiple games right now or what?
Right when it showed Diamond, I was like, dude, are we getting Diamond
And
DLC? Like,
There's so much in this. It's like feels very comic book influenced, but I always feel like that has been Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, I mean they've had comics.
Yes, they've had comics, but then even Captain Spirit, you know, the looking up to the hero, and then always Max's journal. There's always like there's always been the feeling of like that medium in these
Yeah.
games. So
and now it
What a-
really set us up
Yeah.
for, you know,
Max Caulfield
the
will
X-Men
return.
vibes.
Yeah.
Like we are ready to go. Like Max, all the people she's with know about the powers. Safi and Diamond are now off looking for answers about powers. There's still, you know, Alex out there and Sean and, you know, the Diaz bros are out there.
And they could have not put that card and let
Daniel.
us think, oh, will Max ever come back? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, especially crazy to be like, if there is a recruitment mission kind of game, like how is that even going to play out, right? Like, you know, if you
I
start
want to break into a government
dealing
facility.
with multiple
So
mechanics and all of that,
Yeah. Yeah, I liked the end. It was understated, which I really liked. I mean, what a bold choice. You know, these games usually end on like a big dramatic moment, and I thought this was a quiet moment.
Yeah.
But an internal moment for Max, you know, like a powerful
They had a good
change
cool
of
down at the end. Yeah.
her, you know, she's had a revelation. She's had a big growth, a big life change.
And I do think that's a big part of that too. And she's trying to get through to Safi. You know, it's like, look, I've been here. I've got the experience. You know, and I can like help you work through this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it's kind of crazy because it is sort of setting up like a Professor X Magneto
It
dynamic
really
or something.
is.
I don't know.
It really is. Dude, totally. I keep thinking about it. Percentages?
Percentages. Accept or reject Safi. 68% agree.
I accept
Yeah, I accepted.
Safi still believes in you.
Yep.
We'll see what she ends up doing later. But graffiti critic, what? I didn't even see this.
I didn't see it.
76% critiqued the graffiti in the Blackwell bathroom.
I did.
24% did not.
I'm like, I'm never leaving this bathroom.
So you found it.
It's the I hate Victoria Chase one.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, I remember this. And she's like, yo, this has been here a while. Yeah.
I did get a text from some of the other Blackwell student or whatever while we were in that scene.
Warren?
One of those scenes. Not Warren. There was another one.
Kate?
Kate.
Yes,
yeah.
it was Kate. It was Kate. Her icon was the cross or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm so glad I met you. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love Kate. Shout out to Kate.
Finding Loretta was very not common.
I know.
I did
37%
not. I did
found
not.
Loretta.
Yeah, I didn't find her, but
Which I did. I'm surprised because you said you found the reflection point and all that stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like she was that hidden.
Yeah.
I just went to see if I could walk back to the beginning part of the bowling alley.
Yeah.
And where it was blocked off, like, oh, there's Loretta sitting down there.
Missed it. Should have turned my brightness up or something.
38% reflected in the bowling alley. Nightstand librarian. 55% of us looked at every
That's
book
me.
in the motel.
They were depressing. One of them was gut shot.
Yeah,
That one hurt. She's like, dude, who put this here? Like, what the hell?
36% looked at some of the books. 9% of people didn't even look at those books. 94% reminisced on Chloe's lockpicks.
I did.
Yeah. Loretta's attitude
Yeah.
at the end. 62%. Loretta had a change of heart in how she reports stories.
I'm in that 62%.
And only 37% found her in the bowling alley, so there's more to it than her change. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, mine was she still Dogged as ever.
Reggie's feelings. This is a weird one. 18% Reggie is upset that you kissed Vin.
Whoa, okay.
74%, which is what I had. Reggie and Vin reconciled? ?
I'm in that.
8%, Max didn't speak with Reggie in the North Quad.
Huh.
Oh yeah, because you tell Reggie to go to the snapping turtle, I think. So, the Abraxas election, 74% Vin plans to run again. That's what I got.
Vin's that one kid that like will just not graduate.
Yeah. Just be there forever.
Dude.
26% Vin dropped out of the race. Oh yeah, this is a big one we talked about. Gwen's next move. 13% Gwen accepted the committee's decision. 46%, which is
Yep.
what I had.
Yep.
Gwen will keep fighting the committee's decision. 41%, Gwen chose to move on from Caledon.
I think both of those options are good. Like, maybe it is time to move on, Gwen, but also like fight for your rights kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think both make a
you
lot
didn't
of
do that
sense.
thing. Take the fall for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yasmin's attitude. 11%. Yasmin voluntary stepped down as president. 5% Yasmin.
That's legit.
Yeah,
Only 11% for that. That one feels like the good one because it's like she accepts responsibility.
right.
Only 11%.
Yeah, I wonder what decisions play into that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you call her out earlier at coffee or something.
Yeah.
5%. Yasmin fought the board to remain president.
Jeez.
I wonder how. Oh, I also wonder if the shoulder. If she gets shot, if you rush, because that's something none of us saw.
Oh, yeah.
So if she doesn't get
Yeah.
shot, maybe she fights back.
Yeah.
And then 84%. The board forced Yasmin out.
Yeah, that was mine.
Post-storm moment of reflection, right
Yeah,
down the
I got
middle.
one.
49%. Yep.
Finally.
Yeah, serious.
And then all over the place, talking to Moses about Safi. 12% Max told Moses that Safi was justified.
Justified.
56% Max told Moses she would not give up on Safi.
That was me.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we all had that. 25% Max told Moses she'll be here if Safi comes back. 7% Max told Moses she's done with Safi for good.
Cold.
Hardcore.
Yeah,
Wow. And that's it.
that's it. What a ride.
Solid. Very solid. Very happy. I don't know if it reached the highs of previous Life is Strange games for me just yet. Definitely got to sit on it for a bit. It was definitely a different vibe and tone, which I appreciate in the end. You know, you don't want all the games to be the same thing.
Yeah. A little bit more mature.
Definitely more
Too.
mature. Oh yeah, especially if you compare it to like the original.
Yeah.
Just because you're dealing with teenagers, you know,
Right.
versus like Max is an adult. Like we're dealing with adults here.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the writing was a little more mature for sure.
Yeah, I do agree that like I think that there should have been ways to figure out how to get more of this just like everyday kind of levity in between some of the more of the mystery solving, you know, because it's
Yeah.
kind of like how the first game was, right? It's like you're dealing with this sort of in secret, but then you still kind of have to go to class and do all these
Yeah.
activities and things.
Totally.
Whereas this, it's like it felt like it's like, okay, we're gonna let you like hang out a little bit, and then we're gonna throw you in
Yeah.
and start pushing you forward.
I could have used like a little bit more texture and depth and just, relevance to some of the bigger plot pieces from things like Abraxas.
Yeah.
You know, I would have liked to, obviously we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but Alderman.
Alderman.
Like, I would have,
Yeah.
Some
like,
environments.
Yeah,
More,
like,
more environments.
going back to Moses's lab later.
Yeah.
How crazy would it have been if instead of Max Caulfield will return, it's like Alderman will return.
I hope so.
I'm like, oh wow.
He's a good mini boss. Good mini boss. So I would have liked a little
The
bit more
DLC.
of that.
Life is Strange, the Alderman Files.
That actually could be an interesting way of
Yeah.
that coming together.
Yeah.
Of like he's the one on the case
Yeah.
to follow up on
He's in
whatever
the Upside Down
Safi and
now.
everybody's doing.
Yeah. Overall, I'm so glad Max is back, and it was
Same.
great catching up with her.
It really was. There was so much backlash against her coming back, I feel like, and a lot of criticism at, where she is and just like, even if you chose Chloe in the first game, that they're not together. I know that really upset a lot of
Yeah.
people, but I don't know. I think it played out in a messy but believable way.
Yeah.
And I really liked to see how Max had changed over this last 10 years. Because, we're all in different places in lives, too, from when we played the first game. Like, just the passage of time and how life goes on and life changes. And some things stay the same, like her traumatic memories. But, she also knows how to process and deal with them better. So, yeah, I just really enjoyed being in her shoes again.
Yeah, I think that, especially like with all the emphasis on you taking photographs, it would have been nice to have seen more of that connective tissue, like more visually. Like everything was like text message,
Yeah.
and all this. Like it would have been nice to have like actually gotten a photo back from Joyce or
Yeah.
Victoria that was like them wherever they're at,
Yeah.
or like see how Arcadia Bay has changed
Yeah.
a little bit more,
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, obviously like you have to put some thought into like making that art, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing than just like, just all being in text and like trying to imagine it.
Yeah. And a pretty cool multiverse story. I will say, I think with so much going on, it was almost convoluted, I feel like they really managed to keep it coherent and keep it together, but I will
Well, I would say there was an extreme amount of decoherence. Actually, if you were chapter 5.
Chapter 5 decoherence.
Sorry.
I will say that, the multiverse has been played out a lot lately. As much as I did like this multiverse type alternate universe story, I will say there was still a little bit of a disconnect, just kind of going back and forth, two versions of characters. There was just so much going on. The scope of it was so big that I just, and again, we talked about Max's position in all of this. It just didn't hit me as hard emotionally as I wanted it to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there were fewer likable characters as part of the problem. It's like so many of these teachers were just made for you to kind of not like even Gwen is like
Gwen is
on
super
the line.
combative.
It's like,
Yeah, Gwen was
Yeah.
dealing
I
with
like Gwen,
stuff.
but I kind of don't like Gwen
Yeah,
sometimes. It's like,
because Gwen was like dealing with everything the whole time,
Yeah.
so she's on edge and she's
Yeah.
upset and
Lucas is a full creep.
And then even like the strongest relationship in my game was maybe like Max and Amanda, but there were two Amandas, so it was just kind of, you could never really get fully
Yeah, I think
into
I actually do
the
think
bond.
the friend zone worked better for that.
Yeah.
That, like
Probably,
you actually do feel like you have a pretty strong bond with her by the end.
next game, Max Caulfield comes back. Are we working as maybe a photographer at a big city newspaper?
Sick.
And maybe there's something that happened. Maybe the editor in chief, he knows about this girl,
Yeah.
this unknown girl who's got some powers, and he keeps saying, "Get me pictures
Get
of
me pictures."
Spider-Man." I would like, if I'm thinking of like the scenario, that's the scenario I would love to see. I would love to see Max as a photographer for a newspaper.
So sick.
Dying
Different
medium,
cases.
yes.
Oh my
but-
God. Goes to a case and realizes it was someone with superpowers or something.
Imagine Max as a crime scene reporter,
Yes.
photographer.
Incredible.
Working
Elyse,
alongside
oh
the
my God.
forensics. These are
This is what I
worlds I
want.
want to see.
That is what I want.
Max called. Maybe it's a crime scene. She's photographer, the forensic, and this is where we see, the victim in this situation. Maybe they had a nosebleed or something.
Yeah. Yes. There's
I'm
like some
excited.
unexplained, nobody can explain it. And Max is like, dude, it was powers.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And how many of the people left at the bar that she was with, how many of them will return? You know, are they going to join up and be some, you know, Scooby Gang and
Yeah.
cracking cases, or are they going to part their ways? Or
Moses is the hacker.
you know, yeah, Moses will be the man on the man in the chair.
Gwen in the Winnebago's the getaway driver. Your
Yeah.
whole team. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's crazy. And what you were talking about too is like, well, what if more of the timeline merged than was said?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like if that was going to be the route, then like everyone would have got a call from Chloe at the end or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what they would have.
Ended on.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Yeah.
like if you just leave it for later, it's going to be
Gosh.
kind of like tacked on.
Imagine
yeah.
if Arcadia, the timelines merged so much that Arcadia Bay was destroyed, but Chloe was also still alive.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, wait.
Arcadia
Arcadia Bay
Bay's
was
alive.
fine, but and Chloe
And
was
Chloe's alive?
And
Yeah.
we're like, what?
Yeah.
And then we get to go back to Arcadia Bay and everyone's still there.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
David,
I know.
that means David would still be there and not in the world of the brother. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
There's so much. There's so much.
Well, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, that always gets me. That always gets me. It's like, wait, no, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
Well, this was a blast.
Oh,
Yes.
so much fun.
we need
Elise.
the next
I
game
love
to
it.
come out sooner than
Well,
later.
we have lost records in just a couple of months.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The Don't Nod.
Let's do it.
I don't know.
Heck yeah.
I've got to play the preview. I don't know if you got.
I
There's
haven't
only
yet.
two
Yeah.
chapters for that one, right?
Well,
there's, like, two
no,
parts,
it's
or-
more than, but they're releasing it in two halves.
Two halves.
So
Got it.
like it's coming out like in February and March or something like
Yeah.
that. But
And I wonder if, because we had wavelengths for True Colors.
oh,
The
true.
Steph DLC,
yeah.
which I really liked. It was
So bartending minigame,
that would be perfect.
playing as Amanda.
Yeah, because in wavelengths you just sit in the DJ studio. But yeah, that would be cool. Because it's such a cool. It was that one was
There's
such
not
a
another person I would want to play as. Like maybe Marcus, but
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if they want to get super nuts,
or they
we play as Safi and we are on the case.
maybe or Diamond.
Or Diamond, exactly.
I could see a
Or
Diamond
Alderman.
DLC. Yeah,
The Alderman Files.
because I could see that being the bridge for like, okay, you have a
Yeah.
Diamond DLC,
Yeah,
and then the Max Caulfield will return.
for the next time.
Could be
yeah.
the next like full game. Yeah.
Totally.
Or who knows, Safi will be
Or
the next
they
full
make,
game.
or they make, they go another completely different route and it's more new characters.
Yep. Oh yeah, I mean that's the other thing too is you know if you're not playing as Diamond, you're playing as a new person,
Mm-hmm.
and they show up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyways, there it is.
The world is a better place with these games in it.
I agree.
Very also very curious where Lost Records is going to end up going.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Elise.
Thanks for having
Thanks so
me.
much,
Coming.
Elise.
What an exciting thing that we do every few years.
Yeah.
We are Easy Allies. We are supported by generous people just like you. So if you've enjoyed this series of spoiler modes, please go check out the archives, check out our weekly podcast and all that other good stuff. And if you like this stuff, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/easyallies. Until next time.
All of that was pretty fucked up. Yeah. Who needs all the king's horses and all the king's men? I've got you to put me back together again.